he left his home and family without notice, embarking on a journey to Tiruvannamalai, where Arunachala is located. Upon arrival, he discarded all his belongings, including money, and embraced a life of renunciation.
And now you're asking the question is not matured yet. If you stood up and you could not ask question and tears came to you, I would have answered this question completely differently. But Ramana did nothing, that's a fact. He simply sat like that, cross-legged, simply doing nothing, absolutely. Rodents came and bit and ate his flesh. It festered wounds, became worm-infected. He simply sat doing nothing.
Ramana gave mukti to a crow and a cow.
Pranam Sadhguru. I am from West Bengal. My name is Shourabroto Mukherjee. I have been following you for last 3 months.
Was that a warning?
No. Why, sir?
No.
I have been following you for several last few months, and I have been watching your videos, and literally I can say that I'm your fan. But I have one question that I have noticed that you have said that whatever we accumulate in our life, like our salary, our reputation, our wealth, our body fat also, it's all, we can say that it's mine, but it's not me. You say, I have seen this, and it's extremely logical. Sure, I can say that the house is mine, but that's not me. I can say that the body is mine, but that's not me. Then what is me? If I release whatever I earned, if I remove whatever I earned, then what is me? What is my existence? That's what I want to know.
Why are you asking me, huh? Listen now. Well, what is you? Right now, what you think is me is just a bundle of thoughts, emotions, ideas, prejudices, philosophies, ideologies, a hodgepodge of many things that you picked up. You're a scrapbook. That doesn't sound good. No, you're a cocktail. Shall we upgrade him a little more? You're a bouquet of flowers. All right. So what is you? This happened at the Cincinnati airport in Ohio, United States. People had lined up to check in at the airline ticket booth. One man just skipped the line and came straight in the front and thrust his ticket. The lady at the counter, she said, sir, there is a line. He said, no, I'm in a hurry. She said, everybody's in a hurry, you're on the same plane. Please stand in the line. Then he said, do you know who I am? She looked at him, promptly picked up the microphone and said, there is a man here who does not know who he is, can somebody help him? So, who am I? Is not a question that you ask somebody. It's a question that you ask yourself. Make it more and more profound. If you had stood up, this is like what you are asking is like a morning prayer, you know, how people pray. If you go and learn one mantra, your child is doing, and phone also you can attend in between. These days, even in the temple, priest is attending the phone in between. All this. This happened closer to Christmas. A lady in Minnesota was praying. It was overheard by the neighbors. She was praying, dear God, please this time, last time that old fool Santa Claus came and he mistook my prayers. What I want is a thin, slim body and a fat bank balance. Last time he mistook this. Why I'm saying this is, you please look at all the prayers on the planet. Dear God, give me this, give me that, save me, protect me. Does it look like something divine or does it look like simple survival? Survival, outsourced. To survive on this planet, you just need 4 limbs and a few brain cells which work. So right now, Sadhguru, all that is okay, but I want to know who I am. This whole who am I business became very popular because of Ramana Maharshi, you know. You heard of Ramana Maharshi? He's not a Bengali. So Ramana said, who am I, and sat down there. People today think they don't have to do anything. If they once in a while ask somebody, who am I? They think they're being spiritual. I was teaching a program in Los Angeles. There's a bunch of people, about 150 people, all prominent people, many of them from the Hollywood crowd. And a whole lot of young women were looking similar. They're not sisters, they have the same doctor. And and then one of them says, Sadhguru, I'm just teaching them a simple 21-minute practice. Why? To turn you inward. Because you're asking this question out. You will not find anything. If I tell you you are an Atman, Paramatman, nonsense, where does it take you? Just more vocabulary. See, if I tell you you are a soul, you are a divine entity, you are Atman, you are Paramatman, you didn't get anywhere. You just got more nonsensical vocabulary. That's all you got. So I said, we're teaching you a simple process, 21 minutes, how to turn inward. But you're telling us all this 21 minutes we have to do all this, but Ramana Maharshi said, you don't have to do anything. I said, whoa, Ramana got to Los Angeles? But Ramana did nothing, that's a fact. He simply sat like that, cross-legged. Simply doing nothing, absolutely. Rodents came and bit and ate his flesh. It festered wounds, became worm-infected. He simply sat doing nothing. If you can do that kind of doing nothing, immediately there is an answer, all right? But now in California, they made like this, if a mosquito bites, they'll call 911. Yes, that's how it is. In this state, you don't ask. So right now, if this is an existential question, this is not a small question. You don't know who you are, is it a small problem? Huh? It is a fundamental problem, isn't it? And you're getting up and introducing yourself, where you, Bengal you come from and everything. And now you're asking the question is not matured yet. If you stood up and you could not ask question and tears came to you, I would have answered this question completely differently. But now it's a joke, so I'm joking with you. Is that okay? Huh? Question is there, it's a good thing, the question is there. But the question needs sharpness to penetrate. It still doesn't have enough intensity that it can penetrate something. It's right now a casual question. So right now, I can tell you something, who you are, but it's not in your experience. If I tell you something which is not in your experience, what can you do? You can believe it or you can disbelieve it. If you believe it, you're not any closer to it. If you disbelieve it, you're not any closer to it. If you believe me, you can go and tell some fancy positive story. If you disbelieve me, you can go and tell some negative story about me. But you have not moved an inch, isn't it? So if you genuinely, if this question is burning within you, if tonight, if this question bothers you so much you cannot sleep, you cannot sit, you cannot stand, if it bothers you like that, then you come, I'll give you something else, something totally different.
You've heard of Ramana Maharshi? Ramana gave mukti to a crow and a cow. In the Indian way of life, a snake, a crow and a cow are considered important because in the evolutionary scale of the body, a monkey is very close to you. But in the evolutionary process of the inner being, a snake and a cow and a crow are very close to you. This is the reason when you make the offerings for the dead, you always make it to either the crow or the cow. Snake, you don't want to handle. And a snake won't come looking for your food, he doesn't care for your food. What you have to offer, your vada and paisam, he's not interested. So you choose these other two. So we also said, you're not supposed to kill a cow or a crow or a snake. If you happen to kill, you must give it a proper funeral. Do you know this? We give a proper funeral to a snake in this country. If a snake dies, people give a proper funeral to it. Are you aware of this? Because a snake is very close in the evolutionary process of the inner being. And these three animals, one bird, one reptile and one mammal, are the three creatures who have emotions very similar to that of a human being. I don't know, these days living in Mumbai, you might have not been in touch with them, but people have very deep relationship with cows, do you know, in this country? It's not just a milking animal, people have a very deep relationship. And if you go through any pain, if you have a cow in your house, it sheds tears for you. Do you know this? A cow actually sheds tears for something that you are going through. If you go sit with a cow very sad and talk to him about your problems, a cow actually sheds tears. And because in terms of energy, a snake is very close to the way your body reverberates. If you have no issues about it, if you go in the wild, any other animal in the wild, if you try to touch it, it will always repel. Snake is one animal. If you know how to pick it up, you can simply pick it up like this, it will come with you. There was a time when I used to have 20-25 snakes all over my bedroom. They are everywhere. You just have to not disturb them. But if I am sleeping many times, they want the blanket too. They're all in and everywhere. You make one wrong move, they will bite you. But they're very comfortable with the way your system is reverberating because their system reverberates the same way. This is one of the reasons why the snake is used as a symbolism for Kundalini, because it's very similar to your own energies. There is a deep sense of perception in these things. Today you can just dismiss it off, okay, you are snake worshippers, cow worshippers, nonsense. It is not about worship, it is about recognizing the qualities that are there in the nature. In the yogic lore and in the yogic culture, a snake has been used in many different ways for one's own growth. You won't see a single temple without a snake, is it so? Somewhere in the temple there is a carving of a snake because it's an important step in one's evolutionary process of the inner being. In the evolutionary process of the body, maybe a orangutan or a chimp or a monkey may be important, but in the evolutionary process of the being, a snake plays a very important step. It is an important shift from one level of life to another, so it is always recognized as such. So such things have happened, but they're very, very rare. And that particular animal has a certain background, otherwise it cannot be done. But there are so many human beings who need to be raised. Right now we are not going to take the task of liberating animals. There are too many human beings who need it, isn't it? Maybe when all human beings get enlightened, we can go searching for that particular animal which has the capability to grow. But generally, it is not possible. In general, we can say a clear no to it. There are a few exceptions. where it could be done.
Here are few key facts about the life and teachings of Ramana Maharshi, one of India's most revered spiritual figures, presented as a brief story. Early life and spiritual awakening. Ramana Maharshi, originally named Venkataraman Iyer, was born on December 30, 1879 in the village of Tiruchuri, Tamil Nadu. He was a typical active boy until at the age of 16, he experienced a profound spiritual awakening. This transformative experience was triggered by an intense fear of death, during which he spontaneously realized the impermanence of the body and the eternal nature of the self. This realization marked the beginning of his lifelong quest for self-inquiry and spiritual enlightenment. Journey to Arunachala. Following his awakening, Venkataraman felt an irresistible pull to the sacred mountain of Arunachala, which he later described as his spiritual home. In 1896, at the age of 17, he left his home and family without notice, embarking on a journey to Tiruvannamalai, where Arunachala is located. Upon arrival, he discarded all his belongings, including money, and embraced a life of renunciation. He spent the next several years in deep meditation, initially in the temple and later in caves on the mountain, leading to a profound state of self-realization. Establishment of Sri Ramana Ashramam. As Ramana's reputation as a sage grew, devotees began to gather around him, seeking guidance and spiritual solace. In 1922, a small ashram was established at the base of Arunachala, known as Sri Ramana Ashramam. This ashram became the center of Ramana Maharshi's teachings, attracting seekers from all over the world. The ashram continues to be a place of pilgrimage where his teachings and presence are felt deeply by visitors. Teachings of self-inquiry. Ramana Maharshi's primary teaching was a method of self-inquiry or Atma Vichara. He encouraged seekers to investigate the nature of the self by repeatedly asking the question, "Who am I?" This practice aimed to transcend the ego and reveal the true, eternal self beyond and physical body and mind. His teachings were simple yet profound, emphasizing direct experience and inner realization over intellectual knowledge. He also taught that the presence of a realized being can be a powerful aid to spiritual progress. Legacy and influence. Ramana Maharshi's influence extends far beyond his lifetime, impacting both Eastern and Western spiritual traditions. He passed away on April 14, 1950, yet his teachings continue to inspire countless individuals seeking spiritual truth. His legacy includes numerous books, teachings, and accounts of personal transformation experienced by those who came into contact with him. Prominent figures including Carl Jung and Alan Watts have acknowledged his profound impact on spiritual thought. Sri Ramana Ashramam remains a vibrant center for his teachings, preserving his legacy for future generations. Conclusion. Ramana Maharshi's life story is a testament to the transformative power of spiritual awakening and the enduring impact of genuine self-realization. From his early life and profound awakening to his establishment of an ashram and his enduring teachings, Ramana Maharshi continues to inspire and guide seekers on the path to discovering their true self.